You're watching a Big Z review. They Will Kill You is a new action slight horror flick that is just coming out this weekend, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun.
This building is a temple to Satan. Each month we must pay with a human sacrifice. Tonight, you are the offering.
So first off, they did a bit of a disservice to this film by putting it out essentially at the same time as Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Because it's another film with a bunch of devil worshippers trying to kill a woman, and then there's even a sister in it that they have to protect. This is kind of way too similar to that movie to be out in theaters at the same exact time when you have a whole year you could have put it out. But I think I honestly might have liked this one a little bit more than Ready or Not 2. And it is completely original. It's a fun flick. This was directed and written by Kirill Sokolov, and it mainly stars Zazie Beetz as Asia Reeves. And essentially, the idea is that, when they were kids, her and her sister, they had an abusive father, and they tried to escape, but, and she shot him, but then, she ran away from the sister because the cops were coming, but they still found her later, and, the little sister was still raised by the abusive dad, and she spent, 10 years in jail, and now she's finally out of jail, and, her sister is missing, and the last place she was seen was this, weird hotel in New York City. So she's gonna try to figure out what's going on, and save her, or if she's dead, kill everyone that's involved. And this is a really fun premise. You can tell that Kirill was definitely a fan of Quentin Tarantino. There are a lot of little things throughout this film that you can see that he's a big fan of movies like Kill Bill. And I think that it works really well. I do think that it's a tight film, but it is kind of non-stop action. But I feel like they could have put a couple other things to get to know these characters a little bit more. Just because there's so much, it just keeps going and going and going. I think it really helps to have some peaks and valleys in a movie like this. And it's only every once in a while you see that they mention something, and you get a 2-minute long flashback explaining a little bit of background. And I felt like they could have had a little bit more just explaining kind of who this character Zazie Beetz is. Because she is an absolute badass. And you see 2 big fights she has in jail, but what kind of jail is this woman in? They teach her how to fight like a martial arts expert. It's kind of interesting. But I think that one of the weaker parts of it too is that I think my favorite fight is the very first fight. So when you have the best fight at the beginning, it's a little odd. But I think the best decapitations and limb amputations with her sword, and there's still some cool stuff later. Is a really fun fight with a flaming axe. But I think that a part of the problem is that there's a reveal about who these people are in this hotel, and that once that happens, it loses some of the impact of the action, let's just say. I don't really want to spoil it, but of course, I will say they are devil worshippers. But since they're devil worshippers, they got some powers. But so there is some really fun stuff with them. Some of the special effects are a little like this, and a little that's definitely a fake head. But I had a lot of fun. And I really like Zazie Beetz. She's crazy. One of the first fights, they're trying to drug her for a sacrifice, and she grabs a hold of the wire to the lamp, and they start dragging her away. She's kind of just out, but then she sticks the cord in her mouth, and then her hair goes crazy. So then the whole rest of the movie, or their hair all frizzed up. It's very fun, and she's great in all the action. And I feel like they ask a lot for her, but she is there for most of the action. Definitely like John Wick style, where like it's not the same as John Wick, but the idea that the actor is doing most of the action. Anyway, I really loved a lot of the different stuff that happens. Like, there's some crazy stuff for the climax. But I will say though that I've noticed this new thing where there are a lot of movies like this where the bad guys are devil worshippers, and they actually have devil worshiper magic powers. And I feel like it's always odd whenever that happens because if devil is real, you have to infer that God is real and heaven is real. And I feel like God wouldn't like what's going on. And I feel like that I wish more these movies would have like a bit more tongue in cheek. Like in the end, if there was an angel looking by and gave her a wink or something, or just to say that like, yeah, maybe there is something more than just like if there's a devil, it's got to be a god. And if the devil worshippers, you think there would be some powerful being supporting God that could do some stuff too. But that doesn't. They don't have to do that. It's just kind of like the fallback for, hey, these guys have magical powers. Okay, let's just have them worship the devil. But like some of the stuff they did was cool towards the end, like with what they worship and like how it's represented. It was really creative and different. And like I like the special effects that they do for it. This is a really great action flick that I would definitely recommend. Probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Like it's a lot of fun. It's a tight little horror action flick that's really gory, and I enjoyed it a lot. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, subscribe down below. Thanks.